We're your teacher friends.
Hi, it's Lydia.
And Heather, your teacher friends, here with a maths activity for you and your students today. We love this activity because we get to make paper planes, but not just making the planes and flying the planes and aiming the planes in different directions, but also identifying the two-dimensional shapes that we can see as we fold these different steps of making the plane. So here are some of the materials that you'll need.
So you're going to be needing A4 paper, but with the A4 paper that we find works best are the ones that come from your local supermarket magazines. These kinds of paper are good for the kinds of planes that we want to make. Now, there are plenty of designs out there. There are ones that are designed for speed, ones that are designed for distance, but the ones that we're going to make are meant to astound and give you bragging rights. So they're meant to flap and they're meant to fly like a bat. So let's get started with this design. So like we had mentioned earlier, this lesson is not meant to be teaching kids about 2D designs, shapes like triangles and squares. They already know this. The purpose of this activity is to look for these shapes during the process of making the paper airplane. And paper airplanes are all about shapes because that's what determines the forces that act on them and how they fly. Shall we get started?
Let's go.
All right, so
We
first,
started with a rectangle.
a rectangular piece of A4 paper, that's it. And we're gonna fold it in half. Now we have a symmetrical piece of paper
Another
because it's
rectangle.
equal on both
Yep.
sides. Good. Now after that, we're gonna bring it back down and fold it in quarters. Now we have a long rectangle on either side. At this point, you have the letter M. And now we're gonna make triangles on each side. The triangle will look something like that.
I could spot two triangles now.
Ah, good on you. And the same on the other side. So one of the key criteria to making a successful airplane is to make the airplane as symmetrical as possible. And that's why we always do, for whatever we're doing on one side of the plane, we're repeating on the other side. Next, we're gonna fold another one of my favorite shapes. It's not just any triangle, it's a right angle triangle. Here we go, on both sides.
You're very good at creasing, aren't
Yeah.
you? That is one of the things when beginner paper plane makers
Yep.
don't stop and fold those carefully. That can really make a difference.
So your folds have to be convincing. Now, this is another one of those landmark points, and this is in the shape of a rocket, I suppose. So with the rocket pointing downwards towards you, you're gonna bring it upwards. And guess what we're gonna be doing? More triangles.
I can see a lot more triangles.
More triangles.
Little triangles.
More triangles on this side. So from here you can tell there's so many shapes
Oh,
to
I like
identify
this.
with the children.
This triangle here.
That's right.
Yeah, lovely.
Here we go. I'm gonna bring this tip down, flip it over, just like that. And now, some finishing touches include folding it in half, creating the wings,
Still can see your triangles.
still can see my triangles, yeah, lots of triangles and rectangles hiding in the shape, lots of quadrilaterals. So I'm just tweaking it now for it to flap the way I want it to flap. Shall we give it a shot?
Yes.
I'll try to aim it towards
My turn.
here are ones you've made earlier
aiming
with the
right there.
supermarket magazine paper.
Whoa. Have you got any more tips, Lydia?
It's best to launch it not upwards and certainly not downwards, but at a slight angle